listen. Guess who's here for OGs of wrestling? Ain't no competition, we report, you gon' listen. Never no mercy, we bring the ring to the streets. If you don't know, you better find out off the ropes. Here to prove a point, number one in the league. Bet you don't wanna tussle with us, know where to hide or run. Step in the ring, you're done, you're never stepping out again.
So you're back on the wolf pack.
Off the ropes, representing that 617 area.
So you're back on the wolf pack.
No other podcast out here more scarier.
So you're back on the wolf pack.
Wrestling entertainment news reported by the Bears.
So you're back on the wolf pack. You might wind up in a body bag.
Took your chances, now it's time to show you what's on. In the ring, off the ropes, best believe that we strong. Day in, day out, off the ropes for life. Shiznit, E-Wiz, Fast Crew on the mic. Town be the city where we make our own rules. Stomping, no, you can't fit our shoes. Off the ropes, a crowd pleaser, conquering like Caesar. Leaning us like pizza when you need your wrestling re-up.
So you're back on the wolf pack.
Off the ropes, representing that 617 area.
So you're back on the wolf pack.
No other podcast out here more scarier.
So you're back on the wolf pack.
Wrestling entertainment news reported by the Bears.
So you're back on the wolf pack. You might wind up in a body bag.
Screw the intro. I'm going to go right into this bullshit. Welcome back. Black Art here. OTTR. Y'all already know the drill. This is an After Dark. I'm just making it completely short and sweet. Stop the intro, by the way. For having us as a sponsor, by the way. Sponsor this programming. Yeah. We've been living on the rough now, stuff like that. So today, it's all about one man, one big, huge motherfucker, as I actually might say. My special guest with me today is Franco Varga.
Hey.
International professional wrestler, man. What's going on with you? Good evening. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Everything is everything, man. Man, today was one of those long ass days, dealing with reality and like that. But enough about me. Let's talk about you, man. So, just kick up your feet, relax, man. Just, be yourself when it comes to this. So let's just go to the origin, man. The origin of Franco Varga, man. Who was you as a kid growing up? And I'm pretty damn sure you being as a wrestler, you had to watch wrestling too. Who was your guys? Who was the guys that made you a believer in saying, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, no, I was definitely a fan as a kid. Not really more of like as an adult, leading into becoming a wrestler, but definitely as a kid. And then, man, I'd say, my two guys that I definitely remember being huge fans of was Vader and Razor Ramon. Those were my guys. I had everything, Razor Ramon and Vader. So those were the guys that really connected with me as a kid.
That's very interesting choices, though. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm an Undertaker guy, and I'm more of a Stone Cold before a Rock guy, but I can embrace both of them. But Undertaker for me was just the longevity, the respect value, but most importantly, the evolution of his character, but staying true to himself. And what made it great. Now, Vader, don't sleep on him. He is a violent motherfucker.
Yeah, I loved how real everything looked with Vader. Yeah.
Yep, with everything with him, and you can take a look back at his previous rivalries from Captain Jack, Sting, and then going over to the WWE and looking at that cast. He stood out, and he was one of the most athletic big men I think I've seen as a kid that I didn't quite understood, but as I got older, I started understanding his ways and his psychology of in-ring ability.
Yeah, no, he was definitely one of my favorites, and then especially as an adult and a wrestler myself, he's a huge inspiration to me for everything I do too.
Yeah, so that's good. So with that in mind, like I actually went and like looked at some of the clips, and bro, you are a fucking beast. Let me just say that first and foremost. Like me looking at you, the first thing that clicked in my head, and I don't want to be just unlimited like that. I was like, he's a mix with like a Samoan like a mixture hybrid of Keith Lee, just with some Samoan tenacity to his style of wrestling. No disrespect and all that.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I do get compared to a lot of the Samoan guys, but I am Puerto Rican. So I mean, not too far off though. But But yeah, no, I appreciate the
Yeah,
the
no, I mean,
comparison.
I didn't want to like make it seem like, oh, like damn, like that's a bad comparison to doing. I
No,
just
no,
want,
yeah, no, it's an honor. It's this one dynasty's been, in wrestling for 50 years now, and it's for a reason. So
yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's a great comparison to be compared with them. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm much obliged. I thought I was going to get hammer locked for like a few seconds. I was like, hold
No, no, you're fine.
on.
You're fine. You're
But
fine.
yeah, man. So with that in mind, so now we're entering the teenage years. This is where majority of the time what we're thinking, because for me, being a 30-year-old, I'm still getting my feet wet in the whole wrestling game again. I just basically hit the restart button myself and trying to get back to where I wanted to do and make the full commitment now to say, okay, this is where I want to dedicate my time here to. When was you deciding as you got older, like, okay, um, this is probably like the opportunities right here, this wrestling school is available. If I make the full commitment, like what was the evolution from you being as a kid to you saying to yourself, this is it?
If I would have told, 8-year-old me that I was going to be a professional wrestler at 26, I wouldn't have believed myself. So, I just think it kind of just fell in my lap. But, I've told this story before where I just kind of went to a tryout that I was invited by someone who it was really more his dream than mine, and he didn't get picked, and I did, and then I just fell in love with it, and then I became really, really good at it, and I can't imagine not doing it now. So as a fan, I would have never, as a kid, I stopped watching, right when Austin and The Rock and Jericho and all those guys left right around the same time. That's kind of when I stopped like most of the world. I stopped watching and kind of moved on to different things like football, baseball, things like that with my life. But pro wrestling just fell in my life. Just I was doing a ton of working out at the time. I was in the finishing up with the military, and I always played football and things like that. So I always loved working out. So they just saw, big brown kid with huge arms. We gotta have him as a wrestler. So
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
I I think I kind of I didn't expect to fall in love with it. I kind of I went to support a friend, and really it was like an awkward ride back home when he didn't get picked and I did. But I'm kind of glad that I went, because next thing you know, 6 countries later, almost every state, and sometimes I get spotted at gas stations and ask for a picture and things like that. And I'll be at like an Applebee's and someone will come up to me and my wife, and I'll get asked for a picture. Like that's the kind of stuff that like 8-year-old me would have been like, never. That's there's no way that's me, you know.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just fell in love with it.
That's that's amazing, man. That's amazing that you've been to almost every country in every state. Now, may I ask you what has been your favorite countries to visit?
You there?
Franco, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was just picking up off of you saying that the internationally, I've been to every state and almost every country, and now you're very very well known. Like let's
Thank
say
you.
you're overly exposed. You know what I
Over
mean?
overly
So
exposed. Some days I
you know
feel
what I
that
mean.
way. Yeah.
What would be your favorite? So what's been your favorite countries to go and wrestle for? And you know what I'm saying, like what was the most fun part out of all this international journey?
No, I still think, to me, wrestling in Australia was a surreal thing for me, just because all those people that came out, and there's this huge line of people to meet me, and I don't know if it's just being humble or just the way I was brought up, as a kid, but I pinch myself. I was like, there's no way all these people are here to see me. This is, um, this can't just be for me. But it was, and I felt like I needed to give every person in that line the experience that they paid for. And then, like you said, overly exposed. I've seen the bad part of being out there. I've become a meme a few times, and the first time definitely hurt my feelings. I was very confused. I didn't know what to feel. So becoming a meme was just kind of like, this isn't funny anymore, because it was about me. When you see 1,500 likes of a picture that it's just you wrestling, and then they turn it into a meme and turn it out of context, it kind of hurts your feelings a little bit. But after, I got strong people in my life to have, just remind me that hey, just roll with it. It's a meme because you're becoming popular. You're becoming a little more famous than you like. So
Indeed.
yeah, so that was one of those few times where I'm like, I don't like this famous stuff. I don't like this
Mm.
anymore.
See,
But
Stanley once told us as kids, with great power comes great
great
responsibility.
responsibility. That's right.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
felt it
I'm
that day.
sorry, man. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Spider-Man and a Batman guy more, more at heart. So when
Yeah, no,
you
I'm a huge
saying all that, that epiphany came in. God rest your soul, Stan Lee, man. I still miss you.
yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, Stanley. He was definitely a big part of my like early. I mean, I was pretty big on comic books in like I'd say middle school and stuff. I was a
Yeah,
big Batman guy.
yeah.
Still am,
So am I.
still am,
Heavy,
still
heavy
my
Batman
favorite
guy
guy.
over here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he did a lot without having actual powers, and that kind of speaks to me.
And people be
As a person.
underestimating him. I'm like, no, his greatest weapon is his greatest weapon is his mind, his
Yeah,
psychology of things.
right,
That's
right.
how you can't kill off Batman because always thinking 3 steps ahead. People be mad at me when I be sticking up for that. I'm like, yeah, look around how each and every character gets a whole diversity of a personality.
Yeah, that's what people say about Batman. It's just Batman is an attitude. He's a superhero because he's so prepared for everything. He's over prepared. And that's how
Mm-hmm.
I try to be like that in the gym and in wrestling and just everything. Everything about my life. I just try to be, prepared to a fault. Sometimes I stay up thinking about stuff at night when I should be sleeping to get, to the airport or something the next day. So yeah, we all have a little bit of Batman in us. That's for damn sure.
Oh, okay then, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I know, all right. Let's get away from the wrestling for a little bit. So now, when you're home, like, do you
Mhm.
always do you have to turn your phone on airplane mode or silent, or do you keep that thing vibrate at all times just in case of anything? Like, do you
No,
appreciate the
yeah.
downtime at home, or is it like when I go home, whether the first thing that calls me, I gotta go?
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit of a workaholic, and man, I have a beautiful wife that has to remind me to put my damn phone down and enjoy my actual life. But no, yeah, my phone is just kind of how I do a lot of my business, and especially when we're supposed to be sleeping here, I'm having phone calls with people in different countries about tours and things that I'm supposed to be doing. So the whole coronavirus thing was a true break for me. I actually was able to turn off my phone and not really be on my phone for a few weeks, and it was actually pretty refreshing. I got a lot of stuff done around the house that I was putting off. So um, it took that, it took all of that to
Yeah.
get me to take a break.
No.
But yeah, I think I can't not work. I can't not work on my body or this or that or it's just um, I got to be doing something.
Listen, man, I hear you, and I'm the same way too. Like, I mean, I blame my family for that too. You know what I mean? Like, we get it from someone who was heavy influence, and we see how they are, and that reflects on us. So I
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
perfect prime example of that guy, of that guy, that character that made me the workaholic that I am. And for me, working 2 gigs and barely even really being home, didn't getting used to that. Saying sleeping in bed now, like you sleeping on like the couch now. Then when
No,
this whole
yeah.
corona thing, yeah, now
I
this whole corona
with
thing kind of happened and stuff like that.
right,
It just
right.
like gave me more downtime to work on my artwork and other projects I had put off for so long to the side.
Mm,
So teaching myself to say, pull yourself back and heal, take the break that you need before going back out and giving it your all again.
exactly. And I think just the way I was raised, I think I watched my dad. He was never, he was always at work. He was always working. When he came home, he was always working. He was always doing something. So I kind of that work ethic, I picked up from him to a fault some days though, because some days, birthdays, holidays, things like that. I found myself working on those days as well. So I need to, I've gotten smarter about it. I can actually take off certain days and things, but it's like you said, I always got that itch. I always got to be working on something. But yeah, I think that's where that comes from. I think we all have somebody in our lives that if you're a workaholic, either your parent or your uncle or your brother or somebody, you pick that up from. You know.
Indeed, it is. Man, I can't honestly say that, but yeah, always try to use your downtime to really get things done for yourself, heal up, and learn how to bask in like, okay, this is life at home. So now when I'm out there, it's just strictly business. That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So as we go along this wrestling journey of yours, now you've been winning some championship gold lately, man. So what's that about? I mean, like now you're a world heavyweight champion for a new company now.
Yeah, I'm the American Lucha Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. It's one of it's the two or one of the three active titles in North Carolina and South Carolina together. So yeah, I hold one of three. This is my second time chasing what we call the Thanos of wrestling, right? So it's holding a title in every state on the East Coast. I've done it once so far, and I'm trying to do it again this year. So we'll see if I can complete the gauntlet once more. But yeah, no, I think American Lucha Wrestling is definitely an up and coming place. It's one of my favorite places already, and even through COVID, they're just having phenomenal shows. So it's when I say phenomenal, like it's good for the fans, it's safe for the fans, it's safe for everybody involved, and it's just a good show. So that's always good to be a part of.
That's great, man. I'm really happy for you because you know what I'm saying that brings different diversity wearing world heavyweight gold and they're making it setting the standard for the evolution as I would call it of wrestling. You know, more
Yeah.
minorities. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
my mentor in the game, my second dad, if you will, is the first uh, black or minority of any kind world heavyweight champion. That's Ron Simmons, as you know, who beat one of my favorites, Vader. So like full circle here. So
right,
he's always told me to be a champion is one thing, but to be a minority champion is a whole different ball game because you not only do you have to be good, you have to be good on a different level. So I always pride myself on whenever I'm given the ball, I definitely run it, and I definitely do everything to improve the ratings and improve the attendance and do everything I can to have those people go home and if they remember anything, they're gonna remember Franco Varga, whatever I did that night.
oh yeah, because you being as a powerhouse, but more athletic guy in the ring. Oh my God! Just imagine the people that you could be working with all over the damn world. Who has been your favorite opponents thus far in your career?
Yeah, I've had some really good ones. I think I know a fan favorite was for Impact Wrestling with Brian Cage for the X Division title when we were with the company.
Right.
I think like you said, a powerhouse versus a powerhouse, and I felt one of the few people on the planet that can make me feel small is that guy. So Brian's a hell of a worker, a hell of a performer. Michael Elgin's another guy that comes to mind. Another great, great performer that I've had a great, just great many matches with. And then, man, I think overseas, there's well, he's in America now with Ring of Honor, but Sledge is another one.
Right.
Wrestling
I
in
heard about him.
Australia. Yeah, Australia. So Australian cat, very, very, very good. But yeah, I think I have, a favorite place or favorite opponent in every country that I've, been to. There's of course Carlito in Puerto Rico. That's another, he's like the legend over there. Him and his
Oh
dad.
yeah.
So to
Yep.
get
And
the
he just
apple,
made his return to the Royal Rumble not too long
he
ago.
did.
Day.
I just sent him I sent him a text congratulating him. He looks phenomenal. But yeah, to get the legendary apple in the face, for me that was another, little Franco screaming inside. It's like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm not cool. so so that was
uh,
a really cool point in my life too, for that to happen in front of so many people. So it's really cool.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome that you got to work with Carlito. How was he backstage? I mean, like, was he like cool, mellowed out?
Super,
Was he
super
still like
cool.
himself, or was he
Yeah.
just like, yo, let me just come in and do my business and then get out of here?
No, no. One of the coolest guys you're ever gonna meet is that guy. He knows what he wants out of life, and that's one of the hardest things to figure out. So,
Yeah,
yeah, man, he's super down to earth, super simple guy, super cool.
that's unbelievable, man. That's awesome, bro. That's really awesome. So how long? So how long have you been wrestling for?
Almost 9 years.
9 years. How many times?
Yeah, actually, in a few weeks here, it'll be 9 years.
Oh, in a few weeks it'll be 9 years. Congratulations to that first and
Yep.
foremost.
Thank
Now,
you.
how many
Thank you.
how many
Appreciate it.
times have you went in? Have you went in total throughout this whole 9 year journey?
Someone just looked that up. I'm at nine titles, so one reign a year,
Right.
which
I
is
was just
I
gonna
did
say
not
like yeah,
realize.
like so that's like one ring a year.
Yeah,
So it's like no matter what, you're gonna get the ball
yeah,
around your waist because you are a valuable
yeah.
piece of wrestling talent that I think like 2021. And shout out to my man Lou Bruno, the medalist monster, the new pro wrestling Patrick World Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
Salute to you up there, bro. The year of the big man is this year, 2021, as we dub it, the year of the big man. Like,
Yeah,
there's so many big men
I
now that are
appreciate
popping up.
that.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is our time to shine, and I feel you can be one of those people, the front runners, to be like, no, we're setting the standard right here, right now, and this is the year to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and I appreciate that. I've also, I've had some, big magazines like Sportskeeda and stuff like that, write some pieces saying that I'm the standard for the big man
Mm.
wrestler.
Well,
It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of pressure, but at the end of the day, I definitely, um, I used to think being a big wrestler was just like a nice way of saying, oh, this guy's just fat. But but when you see what I can do in the ring, and when you can pick up a guy clean from his feet, and double power bomb him the way I just those are the things that you don't see every day, and that's what I pride myself in. And then I can do some of the flips and things that the little guys can do, but it's as you've seen, it's got to mean to me. I'm very storytelling,
and also you gotta be
driven,
careful with
so
those moves
it's got
too.
to mean
And
something.
also you gotta be careful with those moves too, because a lot of times, like, and I remember, like, I'm not trying to get off topic here, but I know a
Yeah.
lot of Disco Inferno and Conan, like, to keep it with the part, keep it 100 podcast. Shout out to y'all, by the way, for shouting me out, by the way, too. Like, the big man is supposed to be traditionally only have that certain move set that's substandard to big men, but also it keeps them safe. Do you believe that, or do you believe
Yeah.
as time dwells on, like, for the big man, we gotta do a little bit more to say we're not that substandard type of guy?
No, I think when when it's done correctly, the big man is still the ooh and the ah guy. You're gonna have your lucha libre, and you're gonna have your guys that do different things. But if they're sticking to their things and doing their things on their portion of the show, and then when the big guys come out, it's kind of like it's like the circus. You don't you're going to show the tigers and the penguins and all the stuff, and the lions and stuff, but when the elephants come out, that's when the show stops, and everyone goes ooh and ah at the elephants, right? So, like, everyone else is special, but the elephants are just a big attraction, right? The elephants are on the ticket, on the flyer, they're on everything, because you got to have elephants to be a circus. You got to have big guys to be pro wrestling. So, if the elephant was going to jump through a flaming hoop, I'd definitely pay to see that, even though I know that that's what the tigers and stuff do, very, very well. So even if I only get the elephant to jump through one time, it's a lot more special to me. You know what I mean? Just to put in those. So let's just say in pro wrestling, if I do a moonsault at my weight at 275, it's a lot more special to me if I only do it once versus a cruiserweight who does it 3 times a match. You know what I mean? So I just think if the big men out there realize that they can do those things, just do those things when it becomes important or that moment. Do something, something flippy or whatever, for lack of better terms. Do that, but do it to create a moment, and you'll be the ultimate big man. So that's kind of how I approach it. Is I tease a lot of things. Maybe this or maybe that. I don't do it, but then when I actually do it, people are just like, "Ooh, like he actually did it." And so it's and of course, every big man wrestler should have a really strong finisher, and that's what everybody's looking for. That big bone cracking move that you kind of hide the little kid's eyes from. Like, oh crap, that looks super real. That's you got to bring it. You got to put that little bit of doubt in every guy's mind. Like, man, I definitely can't take that guy.
That's like me saying to Devo, like, yeah, I could take this brick and just knock you upside your damn head. How about that?
Right.
Oh man, Franco, I mean, you need to be on television. I'm sorry, you need
yeah.
That's just straight up.
No, I'm gonna agree. Yes, I need to be on television. I have been on television though, regionally. I'm okay. I'm having a lot of fun, and I don't need to be on national TV until the time is right.
Right.
I think I don't want to, I don't want to spoil it at the same time, but I'm okay. Like, don't feel bad for
Oh
me.
no.
I'm having a ton of fun.
I'm
I'm
saying
totally
because
fine.
the year is still young right now. You still got 9
Yeah,
days.
the year's very young. Yeah.
To squeeze something in within that, so you got enough time for that. You know what I mean? You being
Yeah. No, I spoke to a tiny name in the business, AJ Styles. I spoke to him not too long ago before he did WWE and stuff, and he was already early. I think it was late 30, early 40, and he's just like, as long as you love it, you never don't rush it. So that was great advice because look at him, he's mid 40s, one of the top stars in our business. You know what I'm saying?
indeed.
So I got time. Everyone's got time. Time kills deals, and impatient people always walk away too early. So I got time and patience.
That's great advice. So I'm gonna teach myself that. Okay. Yeah, I know how that feels some days. Being impatient and then you want to rush for so fast and something that's beyond your control, you can't do anything about.
Yeah, no, yeah. Some things are beyond your control. Those are the things that you stop and smile at and say, "Wow, okay, I'll remember this."
Indeed.
But you just learn from that and kind of keep on going. But the things you can control, you do 110%. That's kind of how I look at life. 110% of the things I can control, and the things I can't control, then there's a few things you can't control in everything, especially a woman's attitude towards you, right? and
Yeah, man.
and no, I'm just kidding. I have a great great home life. I have all that, and I'm like super super blessed. So I'm just kind of like, those are the things that I can control and I can make better for myself. And like, I'm gone a lot with wrestling now. So imagine a national TV schedule when I'm gone 300 days a year. Like, those are the things you don't want to leave. Uh, you don't want to leave with that stuff not being great, because then you just come back to people hating you, people not wanting you around, people not even knowing who you are at home. So I would much rather the people at home know who I am and know what I stand for than have 100 million people know just my name and nothing else about me. So I've been around a lot of legends that they get that ring, they get the Hall of Fame ring. That's fine, but There's no family. There's nothing. I don't want that for me. I kind of want I want a lot more stability for myself.
That's the key thing in everybody's life to have stability.
Yep.
Totally feel you on that, man. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I know there's gonna be a lot of wrestling to catch up on, so I'll need to make my news report. So, folks, that was Franco Varga. You know, blessing me with his knowledge, presence, and good stories. Coming on to the show. Thank you, man. Thank you for taking the time out, man. Much appreciated for that. This is where I give the guests, their window to see where we can find them, where we can find their merchandise, so we can help support, man, support independent wrestling, support wrestling in general. Something you have to fucking do. So Franco, man, this is
Yeah,
your
man.
open platform, man. Fire away.
No, thanks for having me. I just want to say again, thanks for having me. You can find me at Franco Wrestles on all social media platforms, even TikTok. I know I did that. I can't believe I did that still, but I got one.
You never said
So
that.
yeah, at Franco Wrestles. Yeah, at Franco Wrestles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And just to make it even simpler than that, just go to francovarga.com and it takes you to all my links for all my stuff. And then merchandise and all that's all on there. francovarga.com takes care of all of that. So again, thanks for having me so much, man. The biggest wrestler ever on the biggest podcast ever. I appreciate it.
Ooh, thank you. I appreciate the biggest podcast ever. Yeah, good look. I appreciate that as well. Uh, Folks, y'all already know the damn drill. Y'all gonna have it every week Sundays at 6. Well, 7 p.m. after I edit most of major other things. We'll be uploading our episodes on Monday. So thank you, Franco, for joining us. I appreciate that. And I bid you adieu.
Thanks for having me.